Cheaters never prosper, unless they have the right codes, and then they prosper a lot. You can prosper too by marking your calendar for Friday, August 2nd from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific. I will be streaming a very particular set of video games in my library. The retro games I love to cheat on. Those special games from my past that I really enjoyed but would never have played without invincibility, infinite time, infinite health, or infinite lives. Sure, you can get good, but I'd rather, have fun. I mean, these are video games we're talking about, right? You can come and watch me stay bad on Friday, August 2nd from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific at youtube.com/christiangeekcentral. Pre-show music. Now let's do something different. Pre-show music. This is the pre-show music. Pre-show music. Playing strong. Pre-show music. Playing long. This is the pre-show music, so you can relax and have a good time while you wait for pictures to appear. Pre-show music, it's the best thing in the world. Pre-show music, tell me what rhymes with world. Pre-show, pre-show, pre-show music, pre-show music here. Pre-show music, this is the pre-show music. Pre-show music playing strong, pre-show music playing long. This is the pre-show music, so you can relax and have a good time while you wait for pictures to appear. Pre-show music, it's the best thing in the world. Pre-show music, tell me what rhymes with world. Pre-show, pre-show, pre-show music, pre-show. All right. Oh, I forgot one of my lights. I'm gonna turn this one on. Be a little bit better. Hello. Hey, Francisco. Hey, Gabriel. Wow, you guys are like right on time, and for a change, I am pretty close to on time. I was just like maybe 1 minute behind schedule. Dang it. All right. Well, thanks for coming out. It's so weird, Francisco. I don't know if you feel the same way when you stream. Well, you use Twitch, so maybe it's a little bit different. But that first moment when you hit, you get your mic on, and you just you don't know if it's all really working, and so it's always a little bit nerve-wracking, and I'm so exposed. I'm like, I do this ridiculous pre-show music thing, which just became a thing at some point. So it's a wacky, weird way to start every stream. Well, at least the public streams. I don't bother with the pre-show music stuff for the Patreon streams, which you can get access to at the $5 and higher level at patreon.com/spiritbladeproductions. All right. Well, the theme of this evening's stream is games I want to love. It's kind of a tacked-on, forced Valentine's Day theme, which I've tried to do the last couple years. I think one year I did games I had mixed feelings about at this time of year, or games that made me angry or something like that, but I decided to kind of start skewing it toward a Valentine's kind of theme, just because if you're doing podcasts and online stuff, you gotta have a gimmick, you gotta... and I thought, well, I can make a theme out of something related to love and video games. So I think last year was games I'm in love with. And this year, I was like, I'm not in a place where I have, I think, a stream's worth of games I'm currently in love with. But I'm in a place where I would love to be in love with some games, because over the Christmas break, I kind of got a little bit burned out after making my best games of 2018 video. I finished up my time with Monster Hunter World shortly after that. And then around the same time, I kind of started getting burned out on open world games, which is like a lot of what my games tend to be. Far Cry, Skyrim, which I hadn't been playing, but most of my games have kind of an open world-y kind of thing going on. And so I spent most of my, free entertainment time hours, during the Christmas break watching movies instead of playing video games. I wasn't really big into video games over the break, But coming back, I was like, I have some games in my library that I'll bet I could learn to love them. Maybe. Actually, I wouldn't bet, but there's a couple that maybe I could. And I got back into Pillars of Eternity, which I'm not going to play tonight. I've really been enjoying Pillars of Eternity. I was just in a D&D mood, and I talked about this on the episode of the podcast that just posted yesterday, that I was just wanted to have those kind of looty type experiences and real time with pause combat, if at all possible. Not a lot of D&D games don't have that specific combat system, but I just really was in the mood for that particular vibe, that kind of sword and sorcery. It's not a Lord of the Rings thing. D&D is different from that vibe. It's not, you said Barbells and Joysticks by the Power of Grayskull. That's actually a pretty good example. Oh, you're talking about the He-Man cast in the background, but that's actually a pretty good example, if it was a little bit darker and a little less kid-oriented, of something that would be kind of like, Conan-inspired sword and sorcery. D&D took a lot of inspiration from, Conan and stuff. So I've just been in that mood, and in the mood to have great loot systems where I'm upgrading and stuff, and you have a magic user. In the open world games that I play, almost none of them allow you to be a full-on magic user. You might be able to be a character like, say, Geralt or however you say his name. I think it's Geralt of Rivia. In Witcher 3, you can cast some magic spells, but you're not a full-on... You can't be a dedicated freaking mage in that game. You can't put your swords away and say, no, I don't do swords. I do all kinds of crazy arcane stuff. No, you can't do that. And so the D&D inspired games is where I have been itching to go to kind of get that itch scratched. And so, but a number of those games I've kind of had problems with, and some of those are on my list for tonight. But the theme for in the promo for the video, or the promo for the stream, I put True Love Takes Commitment. I'll see what I can do. And I thought I could tie that in and just have a little moment bringing out the concept of agape love from Scripture, which I think you guys are familiar with. Those of you that are in the chat, you guys have listened to my podcast for a while, or at least seen the In Search of Truth segments, maybe on YouTube. But agape is the Greek word, the Greek New Testament word for love that describes God's love. And the love that God wants us to have for others, which is this selfless love. It's not like the love we typically say when we I love lasagna, where it's all about just me and my enjoyment of this thing, But it's a giving love. It's a love that seeks the best for that, person, And so you can't really, I don't think, have agape love for a video game. But I will see what I can have in common with agape love as I approach some of these games that I got some issues with, but I want to try. I want to try and love. I want to give a dose of commitment to tonight and see what comes of it. Let's see here. Francisco asks, did you ever beat God of War 2? Oh, that's right, because I was playing that during the Rage live stream a couple years ago. Well, I did when it was on PS2, but I didn't. Well, no, I finished it. I was listening to a podcast the other day that was talking about how we don't use the word beat anymore. I think it was Game Scoop. That we talk about finishing games because games tend to be easier. But I definitely didn't beat God of War 2. I finished it with the help of all kinds of cheats back in the PS2 era. But since buying it for my PlayStation TV and Vita, the playthrough that you would have been seeing, no, because I couldn't cheat. So, let's see here. Barbells and Joysticks says, I have Sword Coast Legends. I still need to try it. I'll probably give Divinity another try, but with a guide. Yeah, I can see why. Pillars is still on my list to check out. Yeah, Pillars is the one of those three that I've really been enjoying. But I'm going to give Sword Coast Legends and Divinity Original Sin a shot tonight, I think. Hello, the Dinosaur Planet. Welcome, welcome. Let's see. He says, I have watched the, I have watched the Ace Attorney anime, but I have never played the games because of the spiritual aspects. Have any of you played the game, and what are your issues with it? Well, I'll leave that to the chat. I don't have any experience with the Ace Attorney games or anime. I didn't know it was also an anime series, but that doesn't surprise me. So, unfortunately, I can't speak to that at all. What I can speak to is Elex. So let's, oh man, let's give this one a try. This one, man, I really should have liked this game. Again, referencing Masters of the Universe, I loved how it seemed inspired by a similar kind of mashup of fantasy and science fiction. I loved all I was seeing about the world of this game. And I had been... Did I check my settings for volume? Let me know if there's anything you would like me to tweak in terms of game volume versus my volume and stuff like that. I didn't... I could bring this mic a little bit closer to me. Yeah, just let me know. I don't think since the last time I streamed I've done anything to it. I didn't hear any complaints during the last patron stream. So the visual design of this world I love. I love it. A lot of other things they're not terrible, just not for me. In my review of this game, I covered a bunch of that stuff, like the voice acting I felt was kind of flat. You can justify it given your character being kind of an emotionally flat character as part of the story. The animations are a bit stiff. That's kind of par for the course for this studio. I think the thing I had the biggest problem with was the combat and how slow it is to respond to your button presses, and I think that's kind of a thing in a lot of games, you know, because they want you to, like, they kind of purposefully make the animations long and slow, and so that you have to, like, think and really look at your opponent, and it's that Dark Souls-y kind of stuff, and I'm just not interested in that. I feel disconnected from the game, and I feel like I am not inhabiting that character and choosing. I'm not playing the role of that character. There's this barrier. There's this weird go-between between me and the character that I am role-playing as. So in a role-playing game, I like the emphasis to not be on Twitch skills, or even really necessarily strategy, but largely on playing the role. So, and you can see the frame rates are a bit choppy as well. But I mean, that kind of stuff, I can totally get over that. One of my favorite role-playing games is Two Worlds, the original Two Worlds. And that is like a stuttering mess sometimes and a crash fest at others, you know. It's, but I just like the gameplay. So let's see here. I did a little bit of homework before this afternoon on each of these games so that I wouldn't be stuck too long, hopefully, if I'm lucky not at all, looking up online. What am I supposed to do next? One of the issues I have with this game is how unclear the quest system is. And again, some people are into that. Like, they are into the deliberate pace of Dark Souls combat. But I just, tell me where to go, you know? Tell me where to go. Just give me a marker, give me all the markers. Tell me where to go. Let's see here. So, Dietrich wants to find who's responsible for trading chems in the Hort. The Hort, I think, is kind of this place I'm at. I haven't played this game in a long time, so I've lost a lot of context for what's going on. But I mean, I don't play games for story anyway. Barbells and Joystick says, I so wanted to like Elex. it was way too hard in a punishing way. It's like the developers didn't want me to see the game they created. Thank you very much. I felt that way. I mean, yeah, especially in the kind of like the climate of open world games that exists now. There is a cult following for this. There are hardcore fans of this studio that makes these kinds of games. I think they made like the Gothic games or Arcania or something, you know? And there are hardcore fans that like do not want to see their style of game making watered down or made more easy and stuff like that. And to that, I just want to say, cool. So make that like the normal difficulty, and then have easy and very easy below that. Just kind of spend some time engineering it so that you can broaden your audience. And then if you want to, you know, remove all trophies and put a big baby face on my avatar on PlayStation, you know, because I played it on easy, I don't care about any of that bragging rights crap. I want to see the world you guys made. You spent all this time making this world that looks really interesting to me. I kind of want to see it. What I eventually had to do in order to move forward in this game, Gabriel, was cheat. There was a glitch in the game that could allow you to get infinite money. And with infinite money, like right now I have 16,116 currency, which is kind of ridiculous for me to have right now. And that's after spending a bunch. I upgraded a bunch of my equipment. I bought a bunch of potions that would basically give me free experience points, and so I leveled myself up that way. And there are still, I think, some rare enemies that might be able to, like, kill me, but the combat shouldn't be, like, a big problem, a big, you know, thing for me right now. But now it's more just the other... with the combat issues out of the way, I still left off with this game seeing the other things that kind of bothered me about stiff animations, you know, doesn't make me feel like this, you know, it takes away some of the coolness of the world when some of the movement of the characters looks artificial, but again, I can get over that. I enjoyed Two Worlds, but the systems, the upgrading powers aren't super exciting to me. You have to choose a faction, I think, to kind of go full bore into one of the character class trees that you can go down, and I kind of want to like play both sides as long as I can. I wish that like my class wasn't tied to committing to a storyline, as it were. Anyway, Dietrich wants to find who's responsible for... That's a cool mech. Again, really stuttery, but how cool to live in a world with these kinds of things. That looks really cool, you know? And then you got this guy wearing furs and a bow and arrow. I love it. I love that mashup. All right, so let me open this up. Dietrich. Is that the description I had before? Let's see here. Oh, the supplier. Here we go. Dietrich wants to find who's responsible for trading chems in the Hort. One of his men observed suspicious deliveries coming into the Hort from the south. He has given me a search warrant, permitting me to search the cleric outpost he suspects might be involved in this. And so let's look at the map. And, well, when I saved my game, there was markers on my map. Did I... Oh, do I need to... Oh, okay, let's mark on the map. There we go. Now look at the map again. There they are. So that's where I gotta go. Let's see, zoom out. So it's a little bit of a trip. Can I teleport? Oh, is that a teleport thing right there? I think it is. So let's find a teleporter if we can. Looks like there's one. Is this me? Is that me? No, that's Duras. What does that thing mean? Is that the way he's facing? Okay, let me see if I can find this teleporter here. Orange thing on my mini-map is probably not the teleporter. I wish the minimap was more helpful than it is. And then I'm not really a big fan of stamina systems. I mean, I'll put up with them, you know, like, it wasn't really that prohibitive in Skyrim, at least not playing on easy. Okay, I don't have a... Let's see here. Teleporter. Okay. I can't tell who... Which one am I? Do you not have me on this map? Okay, so let's see here. I need to... This is... So that's north. I need to travel basically due southeast if Duras is still... Jackson Duras? Okay, so north. So we're gonna go southeast toward this, where this orange thing currently is. Hey, Reed. Good morning from the east, says Reed Benson. Well, good evening from the west. Barbells and Joystick says, I'd be so open to using a glitch to experience more of the game. It's possible they haven't patched it out yet. I don't know if patches are a big priority for this studio. So look for, just put in Elex, and I think like infinite money glitch. You should, and I found it on YouTube and was totally able to use it. That was a while ago, but I wouldn't be surprised if they hadn't updated it. Patched that out. Come on, run now. There you go. Okay, there's a little purple thing. Is that my, The sound design's a little simplistic. Leaves just a little bit to be desired. Do I got a jetpack up there? Oh wait, which one's jump? There we go. You got these cool jetpacks, but they only have so much juice in them. You can't really do much. It takes a long time to fill up. All right. Okay, how do I use this? Right, there we go. Oh wait, no, I don't want to talk to you. And that's the thing with trying out these games, is I haven't played them in a while. Don't remember how some of them work. That's not gonna do it. How to use teleporter. That's what I need. Jump. X. Triangle. Circle. Does this teleporter not work? Speak to Duras. Shouldn't there be like a little thing that shows up that says, use teleporter? Am I just gonna have to walk the whole way? You know what? Let's walk it. Let's walk it. We'll see more of the world. How do I get out of this town? No. I really do want to get out of this town for you guys. Let's,
Your mind must be clear.
Oh, it looks like west and slightly north. Okay. So see, it could be so much easier. Let's just... Can we jump this? Oh, wrong button. They have me using square to use the jetpack. I don't get that at all. I've used X to jump. I've used circle to jump. They're like, nope, square. So it's just a bunch. It's death by 1,000 cuts. It's a bunch of little things with this game that just amounted to an experience I didn't really want to engage in. Yeah.
So, you told Reinhold who you suspect is dealing chems?
I don't want to talk to you.
Yes.
And I hear that Siegfried was the dealer. That's a real surprise. Who would have thought it? A menace has been removed and made safe, and the traders in the Hort know that I am a man to listen to. You promised you would take care of business for me, so your debt is paid. Here, I would like to give you this for the road. I can't tell you any more about it, but the meaning will be revealed to you in time. Keep it until such time as it is needed.
Oh man, I wasn't even trying to finish that quest. Woohoo! What the heck quest was that? Okay. What's that claw he gave me? He gave me some item. Other, those are the other items. Natural Elex, look at that, 238. Oh, it's just resistance to frost. Okay, I thought that was the experience potion. Okay, here it is, Xander's Claw. An ornamental claw. Somebody carved a letter X into it. Okay, so it's just a mission item. Let me see if I still have these potions. Yeah, there we go. See, look, strong Elex drink. I bought a bunch of those. I still have 60 of them. Every one of them gives me a skill point. Let's see. I got 84 healing potions, 86 mana potions. So I feel like I'm doing okay, but I could get killed pretty easily anyway, especially since I don't remember how to control this game. Alright, I should at least remember how to get my weapon out. Okay, so that's like aiming. And then I have, looks like 319 arrows, is that right? Yeah, okay. Alright. And zappy gun. Oh, I can't have only 6... Oh, is it 6 shots and then reload? Let's see. Okay, gotcha. Alright. And see, that sound is less than exciting to me. So the visual design of the world, really digging it, really into it. Look at that. Click. Wow. What's this one? Click. Oh, that's the quicker attack. Click. Click. Strong attack. Click. Oh, man. Alright. So, I'm gonna... Well, I'll keep my weapons away for now. So, where... Oh, here's a teleporter. Gosh. I mean, I really would like to use one because I don't want to spend a ton of time on this game. Like... How to use teleporters. Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. Wait a minute, maybe I'm doing this wrong. Maybe you can use the teleporters anywhere. You just have to select the teleport location on the map. I'll bet that's it. I'll bet that's it. Teleport. Or not. Crap. Oh, but I'll bet it's not activated yet. Let's see, is there one nearby that's been bluified? That's not blue. Yeah, okay. Alright, well, we'll just see. Let's just see if we can cut as close to a straight line as possible. Let's save real quick. Is there a quick save option? Really? No quick save. Oh wait, quick save. Triangle. There we go. Oh, cool, yeah. Gabriel, Barbells and Joysticks, I'd install the game via disc without being hooked up to the internet, so no updates required. That's the way to go. And you know what? I'll bet, like, online or GameStop, something like that, you'd be able to find a bunch of disgruntled copies for sale. I don't know. I haven't checked. But that's my plan for... that's my plan for Spider-Man. Because there's a glitch in there that will allow me to get a bunch of XP and then make my superheroics a lot easier. Okay, so I see some red dots up there. That should be an indicator that bad guys are on the horizon. Ooh, that's some slow sneaking. Let's not do that. Okay, I see him. I see him. Let's use the shooty blasty.
I'll get this one.
Ooh. Be quick, there's a lock on. There is. Alright, nice. And normally they would have killed me. Horribly. Although you have this companion, Durus, who, in all the guides that I saw and like how to survive this game, they're like, get Durus as soon as you can and just take him around with you and he'll kill everybody for you. I mean, the companions, this is definitely, you know, if you're wanting a game where, like, you feel like the chosen one and the hero, especially from the start, this ain't it. Hey.
I'll get this one.
Get him, Durus! What are you doing?
Let's go.
That's right, let's go. Go at him. Oh, make your goes. Okay, I'm gonna just get up here for a minute. You can still totally get me. Let's drink a potion. Oh! Okay, let's try melee. There we go. Drink another potion. Alright. See, he like, with one hit, he took almost half of my health. That thing. And I'm like grossly leveled up. Let's see what else, let's see with my cheating options, what else I could do. This is the one game that I'm playing this evening that I would put in the category of Game I'll probably never enjoy, but wish I could. The games I'm going to get increasingly more optimistic about as the night progresses. So anyway, let's see here. What? At least I hope I will. Oh yeah, here's my... Look at all those learning points. Berserker unlocks faction-specific teachers, additional resistance against poison. Oh, but I have to... Oh yeah, it's gated. You can't just pump skill points into it. I have to go to a Berserker trainer. So even with cheating, there's still like gates to your ability to progress yourself as a character. So I think that was another reason why I was like, this game is just cumbersome. It's just cumbersome. Anyway, okay, I'm not going to get into that. Let's keep things going. One thing I'm a little concerned about from just a streaming entertainment value standpoint is that a number of games that I'm going to play tonight, I've got at least 3, I think maybe just 3, turn-based games that are fairly tactical, and I don't know, hopefully I won't shut down verbally when that happens. Although, Francisco, I was watching you a while back when you were playing Into the Breach, and I noticed that you kind of like took breaks to interact with chat, and then just let people know, okay, I'm gonna focus now.
All right.
So maybe I'll do something like that. I don't know what the kids want. What all you cool kids in the world of the internet want from your streamers. I don't know what's hip and cool and trendy and has all the know-how. I don't know those things. So I rely on you guys to give me some suggestions, or just let me know what you think. What is that sound? I hear like a... Did you guys hear that? I don't know how well you guys can hear the audio. Ooh, what is that? Screamer. I think that's one of the first kind of creatures I fought.
I'm here.
Do I have to put my... Oh crap!
One.
Oof. Okay, I've been missing looting these things. I didn't realize that, like, I have to put my weapon away to even see the option to loot. I forgot about that. Okay. We've got a bunch of stuff there. But, you know, when you have to cheat to boost your capability, then just to get through the game, then looting might potentially lose its appeal because you don't feel yourself getting stronger necessarily. I mean, like, you know, the fact is, when you have to, as I had to in this game, cheat in order to progress, then you lose any kind of enjoyment of built-in progression, unless you just happen to know exactly how to cheat just enough to get it to your preferences, and, you know, so... let's see... Oh, that's a long way down, and lava. I don't think I'm supposed to go there. Nathan Norman says, suggestions to be cool? Does that mean you're going to trick me into doing things that are not cool? But you're going to tell me that they're cool? Take metal scrap. Alright, I don't think I'm going to get to the rest of this quest without spending more time on this game than I want to. But I think I spent enough time on it to kind of remind myself of where I'm at, where I feel about this game. The thing with really trying to give these games a good try is a live stream is probably not the best time to do that. Because I'm thinking about the chat, I'm thinking about interacting with you guys, I'm thinking about things that I can say. And so I'm not totally invested in the game. One thing that I found with getting back into Pillars of Eternity was that it made a difference when I didn't have a podcast on, or any kind of YouTube video, podcast, or whatever on. I had kind of gotten into the habit with open world games where there's lots of just kind of traversing the environment and collecting loot and checking off boxes. It's kind of mindless, in a sense. That I like to have, a podcast or something on, or like a movie commentary, that's running on another screen or something. But I couldn't play a game like Pillars of Eternity while something else is running. I really had to give myself entirely to that experience. So, and some of these games might be like that, where I really won't see their potential tonight because I'm not able to give it my full attention. But even so, I'm going to do what I can. So, we're moving on to a game chosen by the patrons over at patreon.com/spiritblade productions. Chosen by most of them by default, because only one of the patrons voted, and so they get all the power. This game is the one game I'll be playing tonight that I would put in the category of a game that, dang it, flip a coin, I'm so conflicted. And that is The Witcher 3. I bought this on a deep discount a couple years ago, I think it was. I just heard people raving. Oh man, The Witcher 3, Game of the Year, this and that. Look at all they're doing. It was like Rockstar levels of acclaim for this game. And The Witcher 2 definitely had a lot of respect. Especially how it apparently improved a lot over the first game in the series. But I tried The Witcher 2 and I hit some boss with giant tentacles. I was like, I can't do this. But there were some videos. It just, the discount was deep enough, and there was enough acclaim about this game, and there were, YouTube videos that I could watch to get caught up on the story. So that I was like, okay, at that price, all these things being the case, I will give this game a shot. And it ultimately was a little bit cumbersome for me. I think I enjoyed it, but at the time I was like, but I really want to play as a mage in an open world. And I really prefer first person. There was just enough that wasn't sucking me in. And also the combat. I was like, this is a little bit deliberate combat. I can't just button mash. I don't like combat that demands a lot of me in terms of twitch skills or quick thinking. Quick thinking is especially, the way I would describe it. That's why my twitch skills suck. That's the primary reason, is because I'm a slow, deliberate thinker. I do not, which is why doing live streams always makes me a little bit nervous, because it's very much off the cuff, and I have to respond quickly to comments or, whatever. I really like to prepare my thoughts in advance and then present them, So YouTube and podcasting is definitely a good medium for that. So anyway, but I've played and really loved Monster Hunter World since I first gave this game a shot. And there's some things in common.
I see you gathered
that maybe prepared me for this game.
Hungry, terrified, clutching your babes to your breast.
I'll let this play so you get a little context.
Emperor Emir has marched his legions into our lands, laid siege to every fortress from here to the Blue Mountains. Rabid and ravenous, he bites and bites away.
I need to refresh your
Men
on this
of the
too.
North, you stand at the precipice. Your kings have failed you, so now you turn to the gods. And yet you do not plead. You do not kneel to dust your heads with ash. Instead you wail, why have the gods forsaken us? We must look into the trials we failed long ago. In a time past, our world intertwined with another through an upheaval scholars call the conjunction of the spheres.
Oh, thanks guys, I'll change the title.
The gods allowed unholy forces to slip into our domain. The offspring of that cataclysm was the nefarious force called magic. Yet we did not banish it, instead studying the vile arcane for our own power and wealth. And the monsters at our door, the unholy relics of this conjunction. The trolls, the corpse eaters, the werewolves. Did we raise our swords against them? Or have we laid this burden on others? On so-called witches. Stray children taught the ways of foul sorcery, their bodies mutated through blasphemous ritual.
Yeah.
Sent to fight monsters, though they could not distinguish good from evil. The flicker of humanity, long extinguished within them. Yes, their numbers have dwindled through the years, but a few still roam our lands, offering their bloody work for coin. To this day, they shame us with their very existence. The North bleeds, flogged by war. The battles are the gods' whip, chastisement for our sins. And let us not forget the terrors, the scourges from beyond our world. The wild hunt rides the sky with every full moon. The Dark Raiders abduct our children into lands unknown. Some say they herald a second conjunction. Can we chart a course back into the light? Will we find the strength to banish the mages from our kingdoms? Unite around the warmth of the eternal fire. Nigh is the time of the sword and axe. None will fight this war in our stead. Nigh is the time of madness and disdain.
Cool. Okay.
The Witcher's contact in Velen was to be Hendrik, the Emperor's spy. Hendrik was operating incognito in that war-ravaged land. His mission, to gather intelligence about Ciri. Yet Geralt arrived too late. The Wild Hunt had reached Hendrik first. The Witcher learned nothing from the spy's corpse, but the Wraiths had failed to find his notes. Geralt read them, and knew that Ciri had been a guest of the Bloody Baron, a local warlord, and that she'd quarreled with a witch.
Okay, so getting a tip from Barbells and Joysticks says finding the right oils to coat your swords in for the enemies in this game really helps. And that process would have irritated me before playing Monster Hunter World. But since playing Monster Hunter World, I've thought of this game a number of times while I was playing that game and getting into it and really learning to appreciate it and then growing to love Monster Hunter World as it was my game of 2018, which really surprises me because it was the first game I played in 2018. And by the end, I was still more excited about that than any other game that came out that year. So I think I'm more open to it. I think I'm primed for it. Let's top off my health here. Alright, so talk to the Baron. I'm not as big a fan of controlling the horse in this game as like Assassin's Creed Origins or Assassin's Creed Odyssey. This one, let's see, gallop, press twice. Oh, and that uses up my horse stamina. But then he stops immediately. He stops galloping. I have a bunch of stamina. So, I gotta what? I gotta keep pressing gallop. That doesn't make any sense to me. So, I'll just canter. I'll hold. Oh, crap. Oh, another tip from Barbells and Joysticks. Also, some of the magic really helps. I use the shield one and fire one a lot. The force push one is also effective to knock enemies to the ground. Maybe is that what you meant? For one-hit finishers. Okay. Oh, I hadn't considered that about the Netflix series. You know, in your reaction, Francisco asked if anyone's looking forward to that series starring Superman. What's his dude? Can't remember. Barbells and Joysticks says, yes, I just hope there isn't a lot of nudity and sex, but I'm not holding my breath. If there is, I probably won't watch it. Gosh, I hadn't thought about that, but there's probably a good chance that there is going to be, isn't there? Dang it. That's a bummer. You know, that's another thing that, like, with this game is like, you know, you can almost always skip cutscenes, and those situations are really pretty rare, in my experience. And you can kind of see them coming and then just go, okay, skip, you know. So that's nice. It'd be nice if they built that kind of thing into movies. I guess there's always VidAngel, but that's another topic. But I love the aesthetics of this world. It's a dark... Watching that intro, I was like, yeah, this is this dark fantasy world where magic is feared and magic users are hated. And,
Move it.
you know, so it's this dark fantasy world. Totally my thing. Totally my thing. Okay, I guess I'm getting off. Castle's on fire? Oh, crap. Am I supposed to fix that? I'm gonna go this way instead. I'm gonna run away from the fire because that's where the dots are telling me to go. So... Wait, talk to the Baron. Did someone say the Baron set it ablaze? Is this gonna lead me to the fire eventually? Let's find out. Oops, excuse me. Run! Henry Cavill, thank you. Oh, thanks for the heads up. Barbos and Joystick says, I played the game with both expansions. You can skip or avoid 95% of all nudity in the game. Great. Hey, I'm gonna stop even though the building's on fire and maybe pick up some quests. Time has come to supplement the castle watch with new recruits. Every family must provide one sound man able to bear arms. Any family with no such man under its roof must pay a waiver in silver or goods. And a clever coward, thinking to shirk his duty by cutting off his thumb, shall have both hands chopped off as a lesson and mark of shame. Holy crap. So, am I going around and enforcing that? Or is this just a... Is this a quest or just kind of a news bulletin? I'm gonna take it. My daughter, Bilberry, a lovely girl in the apple of our eyes, died this year, the 4th of her short life. We buried her in the graveyard by the crooked birch. Whoever wants to place a lump of earth or light a candle for her, that's where to go. Huh. Okay. Okay, this is a good place to save. Is there a quick save option? Just regular save, huh? I will save. Let's go all the way down here. Hey, Rugged Warrior. Thanks for coming out. Oh yeah, Barbos and Joysticks. I've heard that Castlevania is great on Netflix. Uh-oh. Cutscene. Is this going to be a restrictive mission?
Where's Oswin? Anyone seen him? Believe I saw him heading to the stable. What?
Fire. You blind? Nobody willing to put it out?
Ain't that simple. Most are afraid. Baron flies into a rage. He takes no prisoners.
My brother's in the stable. We've got to save him. He'll burn alive. Him and the horses.
Oh, here to see the Baron.
Somebody ought to see to the Baron before he burns the castle down.
So yeah. I also am not a fan of like those limited time, you know, branches and dialogue where you have to choose really quickly. Oh, hey, Baron, let's talk.
You, where do I know you from, eh? Ah, right, the Witcher! Come, drink with me! Pale as a ghost you are.
I know your wife miscarried. Was that before or after you beat her to a pulp?
What the fuck are you suggesting?
Don't play me for a fool. You'd been beating them for years. Finally, they'd had enough and fled. Sound about right?
Oh, are we gonna fight now? I think we're gonna... Yeah, we're gonna fight. Okay. Oh, just fist fight. Okay.
They ran from you, didn't they?
Alright. Oop. Okay, how do I dodge? Just dodge. Oh my gosh. Oh, are your friends gonna help you? Oh no, it's just you and me. Okay. So, let's see here. Oh wait, the L2... Let's see. Oh man, this camera is really zoomed in! Camera, please don't zoom in! Okay, which one's fast? Okay, it's fast attack, strong attack. Let's eat some meat. Oh, I can't eat meat in combat? Oh, that kind of sucks. Oh, I'm not gonna do well here.
Not too late to surrender.
Are you talking about me? I could surrender? That would be nice. Dodge. Can't see. Dodge. Oof. That's harder than I wanted it to be. Definitely.
We need to talk. Sit down. You beat them.
I never laid a finger on Tamara. Not once.
And on Anna.
That's another story. She always knew how to spark my ire.
Expect me to believe you were a loving father to Tamara after that scene in the courtyard?
You're free to believe whatever you wish, but she was always the apple of my eye. She had the run of the place, ask anyone. She'd ride the horses, hunt with the men, at times join them on their rounds. And they'd send for her when I flew into a rage, for only she could calm me.
Make it sound like she led a charmed life. If that's the case, why'd she run?
I'd hardly need you if I knew.
Your wife. How'd she make you angry? Too much salt in the soup? Socks never darned?
20 years we've known each other. She's seen me drunk and sober. She was there to greet me when I returned the victor. She was there to patch me up in defeat.
Okay, barbells, see you in a bit.
Like no other, she knew where to press, where to pinch, so it would hurt.
You beat her? For that? For criticizing you?
Oh, Witcher, you haven't a clue, have you? Well, perhaps I shall tell you about it one day. One day, but not today.
You knew they had run away from the start.
Yes, I knew.
Why didn't you tell me? Wasted my time.
Say I had. Say I'd said I had troubles. Couldn't control my wife, my daughter. What kind of flaccid prick would you take me for?
Tell me everything you remember about the day they fled. The truth this time.
I'd been soaking myself 3 days straight. Anna came to me, said they were leaving. I begged them to stay. She refused to hear it. I tried to stop her. She wriggled like an eel. We struggled. She fell. Last blasted thing I remember. Woke up in the morn, breeches heavy with my own piss. A large bump on my head. Sadly, they were gone. Know what that's like, Witcher? No. How the fuck could you? I was left with nothing. Nothing! Only the bottle.
I can pause here and answer your question, Rugged Warrior. It says, are you going to watch the Super Bowl? If so, who do you want to win? I won't. I was kind of thinking, I like sometimes, in fact most times, to do some kind of like a get-together for the Super Bowl, just as an excuse to eat junk food. I mean, I don't even bother watching the commercials anymore, because I can just get them all the next day, lined up right next to each other, without any of them repeating that I've seen once already. So, and yeah, I've got nothing invested in the game myself. I'm always a little bit curious about who the mascots are. That's how I determine who I think should win, based on who I think would win in a simulated fight between the two mascots. Anybody know what kind of mascot matchup we got going on the football game on Sunday. I've always wanted to like take one of my RPG systems and find stats for the two animals or beings or whatever and simulate a fight, rolling dice.
What happened next?
Next, it only got worse. I awoke at sunset, not knowing how many days had passed. Thought it was all a ploughing, drunken nightmare. And then I went to the bedchamber, but Anna was not there. Instead, there was blood everywhere. I knew she'd miscarried. My breath short, my throat locked. I neared the bed and saw it. It lay there, a tiny thing, defenseless, on bloodied sheets, dead. And it was my doing.
Yeah, one thing that I'm reminded of in watching this cutscene is how this game was applauded for its story, and not the main core story, because I cannot make heads or tails of that. I watched a recap. I watched the entire first game, like cutscenes and everything of the first game, and even that, I felt like, was I supposed to have read the books before playing this game? Because I did play a little bit of the original Witcher, and I was like, I can't do this. I'll just watch cutscenes for the whole thing. So I did that. And then I ended up doing something similar for the second one. Or no, I watched maybe a recap or something like that. I can't make heads or tails of the main core story. I feel totally... But it's these little side stories that the game was most applauded for, is how all the side quests and the story missions leading that feed into the main quest line are just much more rich and well performed and well written than you would expect them to be, you know. And so I do appreciate that, but story isn't something that I play games for. And so, like, even the best story in a game, especially if it's just a cutscene, I'm like, I'd rather watch it with actors, with real actors, you know, that aren't, you know, limited by the motion capture technology of video games. But it does make it a little easier for me to kind of sit and invest through a cutscene, you know. Most games I would just skip. Just skip through, give me the quest marker, I'm good. You know? But I think as I've played as much as I have of this game, I don't think I've done that. I think I've watched all the cutscenes. So that definitely says something.
Maybe you're doing, maybe not. But that amulet she wore could be important. Or maybe the fact that she lost it.
Okay, thanks for coming, Francisco. See you later.
What did you do with the child?
What was I to do? Took it out and buried it.
Just like that?
Damn you! I gave no thought to a funeral. It was a horror. I wanted it to end. That child had been my dream. I told Anna, the little one, our little one, to make things right. Yet she died before she could be born. Understand, Witcher? My child was dead.
Boy. I wish I knew. This is a trait been going for a long time now with RPGs. I like the old Skyrim days, or the days, like I think Fallout 3 still gave you the entire line of text that your character is going to say. And BioWare started doing these where they just little summaries, and you don't know what tone it's going to be, you don't know the words you're going to use, it's just a general vibe. I don't like that. Alright, I guess I'll be just kind of like a little bit of a jerk.
Get hold of yourself. Men like you, when they break down, look downright pathetic.
You're a heartless bastard.
That's right.
Mutations worked then. But here's the good news. Your dead child might help us find the one who's still alive. And your wife.
What?
Sorry about that.
How?
Sometimes miscarried fetuses, if they don't get a proper burial, turn into botchlings.
Ooh.
Into fucking what?
Yeah.
A cursed creature that draws strength from killing pregnant women. Once it's strong enough, it attacks those who scorned it.
But how? How does it know?
Blood ties. They're a strong bond. A bond I want to use to find your family.
How?
One of two ways. Legends claim you can bury a botchling under the family's threshold, perform a ritual, and turn it into a lubberkin. That's a sort of, hob, a guardian spirit that could lead me to your family.
And the other way?
We kill it and draw some blood. Take that to the Peller and he does the rest.
Do not kill my child. It's suffered enough already. Lift the curse that it may finally rest in peace.
Whatever we do, we gotta find the botchling first.
I'll show you where I buried her, and I'll dig the grave at my threshold.
If it turns out we can't transform the botchling into a lubberkin, they can bury us in it. Handy either way. The sooner we resolve this, the better. Best do it tonight, at midnight.
Then wait here with me. Near midnight, I'll take you to where I buried her.
Get word to the common folk. Let us stay in their homes tonight and draw a line of salt outside their doors. And try to sober up.
Do I take a shovel to dig up the grave?
Take it. You'll need it, but not for that.
You're gonna need to whack it over the head for me. I'll hold it real still for you.